Is it possible to make changes to a policy once it's already been paid for? We're going to answer that question and take a look at one of the more interesting functions of insurance known as endorsements today. What's up? You're watching Tito Talks, non-life insurance discussions, once again, with your favorite Tito Miguel, who loves to make non-life insurance discussions easier to understand for both agents and clients. Magandang Friday evening po sa ating lahat. Thank you so much for tuning in once again to another special edition of Tito Talks we're going to be answering a very interesting question that most beginners struggle with. And that question is, can an insurance policy be changed, amended, edited, once it's already been paid for and it's already in effect? Insurance contracts are pretty binding to begin with, and they are a formal agreement between two parties, that being the insured and the insurer. If such an ironclad agreement already exists, wouldn't it be difficult to make changes to it? And surprisingly enough, the answer to that question is a resounding yes. Yes, you can make changes to a policy even if it's in the middle of the year, even if the policy has already been paid for, even if the customer is already enjoying the benefits that the policy provides. And this can be done via specific action or via specific documents known as endorsements. Now, as we said earlier, endorsements are very special types of documents which are attached to the policy, which declare amendments or changes that the insurance company declares on that particular policy. With that being said, you may be confused, or you may confuse this action with another term known as a rider. So sometimes insurance practitioners may interchange these terms, insurance policy endorsements or policy riders. Don't worry, these two terms mean the same thing, and they are interchangeable. It's just that sometimes riders can be attached at the beginning of an insurance policy as part of a special promotion, as part of a special edition, or as part of a special bargain to which their customers are availing when they start their coverage with a specific insurance product. However, endorsements or riders are technically the same thing. They're still documents that make certain changes or that declare certain changes to the policy. And on a general scale, endorsements or riders are divided into two general classifications. Now, the first type of endorsements that you could be talking about are known as financial endorsements. And the reason why they're called financial endorsements is because these changes to the policy have impact or effect have have an effect or affect the actual premiums that are indicated in the policy. So they will have monetary impacts to the relationship between the insured and insurer. That means in most cases, someone, and in most cases that's going to be the customer, is going to have to shell out additional money in order for these changes to take effect. Examples of these financial endorsements could be additional coverages. These could be a simple motor car policy that only starts with a CTPL, but now the customer would require additional coverage, such as Section 3, also known as own damage and theft, and they want to have it added to their policy. This is done so via a financial endorsement, wherein a document containing the additional coverage is attached to the insurance policy pending additional payment, of course. But it's not just with additional coverages. Financial endorsements also happen when the actual value of the asset being insured changes. This may happen when you upgrade your vehicle. You installed some new rims on your sweet, sweet ride, changed the sound system, added a spoiler, changed the tinting of your windows, or even if you sold your vehicle. Yes, these require endorsements in order for the insurance to be updated and reflect the current situation or your circumstances, which make them very, very important. The second type of endorsements we're going to be talking about are known as non financial endorsements. They're the complete antonym of financial endorsements. If financial endorsements involve changes in premiums and additional payments, financial endorsements don't require these at all. And sometimes they may just be for correctional purposes. Let's say the underwriters got the name wrong, which is printed on the policy. Let's say for corporate accounts, you want to make sure that the proper payable individuals or the proper name of the company is showing on the policy as well. Also, there are some cases wherein the name of the insured on the very policy is updated to reflect the new owner. Sometimes businesses change their names as well. So that means their policies would require to reflect the new name of the new business too. These all require endorsements. And endorsements begin at a very special point in your relationship with your clients. As agents, now that you know the different types of endorsements, it is vital for agents to be on a constant state of communication with your clients. I've said this multiple times already in previous videos. Although the sale is already complete, although they're already your standing customers, it is important to once in a while get in touch with your customers. Get to know how they're doing. Get to know how their business is doing. Check in on the asset. There may be some changes or updates that require endorsements to the policy. Who knows? Your customer might have started out with a private vehicle, but they suddenly turned it into a taxi, which now requires a different premium because your exposures are different. And if you're more interested into what cases require endorsements, might I interest you in our video about changes in your car that your insurer should know? That's a pretty old video, but it is still very valuable to most car owners. But take note, endorsements don't just happen in motor car policies. They apply to every type of insurance type of policy, whether it's PA policies. And when it's PA policies, you could be talking about a change in occupation, you could be talking about a change in beneficiaries, you could be talking about getting additional coverages. All of these need endorsements. It could also happen in marine insurance, wherein you could be getting additional coverages for additional perils against your particular cargo. You could be starting off with ICCC and then be wanting to upgrading to ICCB. That requires an endorsement, especially if it's done in the middle of the year. And also, when it comes to property insurance, and I do believe we've already talked about a few examples, changing the ownership of the house or adding additional features to the house, getting a new jacuzzi, getting a new swimming pool, installing an elevator, if you've ever heard of such a thing in a house. But yes, these various things, these various activities could impact the value of your property, the value of your asset, and therefore the insurance needs to reflect these changes so that your protection still remains adequate for the exposure to which you will require. So then again, what I'm trying to say here is endorsements are pretty important for insurance agents because they allow you to steadily communicate and update your policy in time in line with the changes in your customer's lifestyle, their business, their income, and of course their exposures. So once again, may I remind you, always keep in touch with your customers at least once in a while. Check up on them. Check up on the asset. Make sure everything's hunky-dory. You never know. You may need to be charging them additional premiums for a change that they've already made to the vehicle in order to maintain coverage. I hope you enjoyed listening to this video as much as I did enjoy sharing my knowledge with you. Let's jump on to our question for the day then, shall we? And this should introduce us to another motor car lesson this time. It's been a while since I did a motor car video, so we're going to jump right back into updating our libraries. And here's our question for next week, Wednesday. Is the license for a hybrid vehicle the same for a regular vehicle? Sounds interesting, don't you think? If you're driving, let's say, a hybrid vehicle that runs on electric power and gasoline, is the license required for that the same as a driver's license required for any other type of vehicle that's non-electric? Let me know what you feel. Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you do feel that this type of content is relevant and useful to you, please Consider subscribing to our channel. Help us grow. Help us reach more agents and customers who want to learn more about the benefits of insurance. Once again, thank you so much for watching today. This is your favorite Tito Miguel, always saying, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.